Welcome back to another farm vlog. This will be the third vlog. It's got to Thursday and I realised I didn't have any videos for backup. I've got another cooking video ready to go, but I released one of those on Monday, so I thought well, we'll mix it up a little bit. We'll give you a bit of a vlog. Today the weather isn't great, but Tina's just had a wander around with a camera, show you what's going on out there. So I'll just talk and put some of those clips in while I'm talking. Gone up through the side there. We've got all the strawberries in the hanging baskets going up to the gate there. We're getting quite a few strawberries off of those actually. We're not actually eating them because at the moment I'm on a diet. Nothing special diet. I'm just cutting everything down in moderation. Not counting calories. We was counting calories. I'm having on average about 1,400 calories a day, and the trouble is, being in the wheelchair, I can't weigh myself. We have got some scales somewhere. Whether I could get on my knees and weigh myself, but that's, you know, acrobatics and all that. So instead, we're measuring my stomach. So far, I've lost 5 inches of girth off me guts, which is quite good actually. So keep going. I'm trying to keep off the bread and keep off the potatoes, which isn't easy because we've got potatoes growing in the garden. But before, where I would have had a plate full of potatoes, I'm just having, like with a roast dinner, I'm just having 1 potato cut into 4, which is fine. Now I've not been eating as much. I think my stomach must be shrinking. I'm not getting hungry. You know, we just got that mindset now where we've got small plates, small meals. I'm not getting hungry. I'm not snacking over night time. Tina, she's free to do what she wants because she can eat what she wants and doesn't put any weight on. So she sits through here and has a bit of chocolate over night time, but doesn't bother me. Anyway, that's all that. So what Tina's been doing with the strawberries is she's just been collecting them, processing them, as in cleaning them and pulling the stalks off, and then she's freezing them. So we get a good batch of them. She's going to make strawberry jam. That will see us through the winter. Lovely jubbly. So out the other side of the gate, you'll notice that we've had 30 tonne of cow care delivered and some reinforcing mesh. There, we have got some plastic membrane as well. So if you know anything about construction, we'll be making a start on the old garage soon. I'll put the garage videos on our main channel, Ben's Garage, so you can see the progress that we're getting with that. I've got to dig a trench under the wall so we can get the electric and the water into the garage from the house. So that's up there. And then coming round, we've had a bit of a disaster with our potatoes. Potatoes, tomatoes. We won't go there. Anyway, yes, we noticed those all wilting and going a little bit funny, and we looked it up, and it looks like we've got potato blight. Now, I've done some research. You can spray stuff on, but it's once they've got to a certain point, it's going to make a shit's worth of difference. So it said if your plant has got 25% or less leaves affected by blight, just snip those off. 25% or more, cut them to the ground, leave the potatoes in the ground for a fortnight, then harvest them. So all the potatoes in the bins have got blight, and a good majority of the potatoes that are in the ground have got blight. So Tina's been out there, snipped them all off, and where there's 25% or less, she's just been trimming them up and keeping our fingers crossed. So with that, we've got to be a bit careful where we plant our tomatoes. We don't want them to be anywhere near where those potatoes are in the ground because it's in the soil, and it could spread to tomatoes. I don't think it really affects any other vegetables. So we're going to have to be a bit wary of that. But you'll see down by the digger of all the tomato plants. Doing really well. We've got some more tomato plants sat outside, but they're just random ones, which they're overstock sort of thing. We don't really know what they are. We just bunged them all together. How many tomato plants we got there? 40?
38.
We've got almost 40 tomato plants. So just as well, we like tomatoes.
I have plans
But Tina's got plans for them. We obviously have them on salads, we have them in cooking, but Tina's got plans. She's going to make up some tomato sauces, jar them up, can them, to see us through the winter kind of thing. So then she's gone over to the mower graveyard. We have 5 mowers on the premises, none of which work. Now I know there's some of you out there that keep saying get some goats. No.
Yes.
No, we're not getting goats. But we pulled the hater out the other day, that wasn't working, so this turned up in the post today. Take that bolt out before I lose it. This is a blade brake clutch. Basically it goes up under the mower like that. That's fixed to the mower. That's cable goes in there and a spring goes the other way, and that spins. So basically your engine can run without the blade turning. So when you engage the blade clutch, which hold that and pull that round like so, one way or the other, and there's a spring in there. I don't know if you can see there's a spring. When the lever goes round, it compresses the spring, which puts pressure on the clutch plate. If I just pull this apart, there's like a clutch lining on there with a bearing up the middle, and there's your clutch plate, I guess, and there's a spring in there. When that lever gets pulled round, it pushes the spring, puts pressure on that plate, and it grabs hold of the clutch, and that's what gets your blade spinning, which is a pretty good idea. Quite expensive, that was £160. I was going to try and replace just the clutch lining, but when I came to take the blade off, it all fell apart, so it's US, unserviceable. So we've got that job to do. It's nearly lunchtime, so we're going to stop for lunch. Tina's got to go shopping. If the weather is nice when she gets back from shopping, which is not due to be, we'll go out and fit this blade clutch, and then we'll have one mower that works. The flower mower, the engine's bolted on, but it's a different size thread for the clutch pulley. I finally got in touch with the company that sold me the engine. They've told me what thread it is, what bolt I need, so I've ordered that. That's due to turn up some point, so we can get that done. I can get that all welded up, and then I can start mowing with the, we can hook that up to the tractor. Once the flower mower is up and running, I can then take the other mower apart. Well, I could take it apart anyway because it's not going anywhere. It's bloody knackered. The mower on the tractor, the finishing mower, it was a bit noisy. Previous owners obviously taken it apart and put it back together incorrectly, so that there's a hole in the front where there's a grease nipple that sticks out, so you can get your grease gun in the hole in the front. Well, they've put the mandrel on the backwards, so that the grease nipple sticks out the back and you can't get on it. So they've obviously run it like that. We managed to get some grease in it the other day. It took 2 of us, because it's underneath a cover and you've got your 2 pulleys there and 2 pulleys there, and the belt's running through it. Oh, it was a bit of a nightmare. We pumped some grease into it, but I did a few laps of the garden. It started making a funny noise, and Tina says, "It's smoking, it's smoking." So, oh, God. So that was that. It picked up a bearing. That's that job we've got to do, take that all apart, because we still obviously want to keep using the finishing mower because it does a nice cut. Whew. The Husqvarna mower, I can't find an engine for that anywhere. I can find an engine that will go on it and do the job, but I was finding them for like £250 before, and now they're like €450, €500, and so what I might do with that engine is strip the engine down, see what's actually wrong with it. You'll see there's a video that I'm releasing tomorrow on Ben's Garage where we actually take the engine off that mower, and it has got a tight spot on it, and that's not due to compression. It is something in there, so I'm going to probably pull it apart, because I can get parts for the engine, but I can't get a replacement engine for it that will just bolt straight on. Well, I don't want to be messing about. Anyway, that's enough of mowers. We'll now go on to the new addition in the garden. Oh yes. I know you'll say, well, you've not put the greenhouse up yet, and I know exactly what Mum and Dad are saying. Well, he's got a greenhouse sitting there that's not half done yet. We got plans for the greenhouse. This turned up today. It's like Gorilla Tape, but it's different brand. It had better ratings than Gorilla Tape for some reason. This has turned up, so we can crack on with the greenhouse. So yeah, we've got the tapes turned up, so we can crack on with the greenhouse when the wind drops down. Because, as I said before, Tina's got to get up on the scaffolding with like 6 foot of perspex, and the wind just whips up there, and she can't keep hold of it, and I can't do anything. Sat down on the floor. So, because the greenhouse is quite a large one, but it's not going to be big enough for all the stuff we want to grow, we've added this little addition, the Polytunnel. Now, it is 8 metres long and about 3 metres wide. 24 square metres in total, and we did the job properly. We bolted all the greenhouse. We bolted the polytunnel frame together, set it on the floor, squared it up, marked around the edge of the frame, dug a trench all the way around the edge, laid a tarpaulin on the floor because we don't want all grass and stuff, pulled that tight down into the trench, put the frame back on the tarpaulin so it's on the edge of the trench, put the cover on. Now the cover that came with it was it was like 2 inches too small. Nothing would line up on the inside. Luckily, Tina had a bit of foresight. She ordered a spare cover. So we're a bit of swearing and cursing out there. The original cover wouldn't fit. So we decided to get the secondary cover out, and that went straight on. And it was not slack, but it had enough in it to get everything lined up so you can tie it on and that. And there's a little bit of overhang on the sides. That's gone down into the trench. So then what we've done, we've put all that in, filled the trench in, and just banked up the sides a little bit, just to sort of pull the sides down. The doors open and close perfectly. They got quite good zips on them, whereas the last polytunnel we had, the zips were pretty useless. Lasted about a fortnight. A fortnight! So we've got good, we're hoping for good things with this polytunnel. So all the chilies have migrated from indoors under the grow lights to outside. They're still in their pots. We've got to select 6 of the best, and they're going to go in the auto pot system, which I'll show you in another video. And the other 6 we're just going to put in larger pots. We've also today just potted up all the red peppers and the jalapenos. They're in the polytunnel, and also the celery. But we've done the celery with just a little bit of dirt in the bottom because you hill celery up, apparently, so that you get white stalks rather than them turning green and going quite stringy and that. You can get some that are self-blanching celery. We don't know if these are or not, so we're going to just hill them up in the pots. We're not going to put them in the ground, I don't think, are we?
No, they'll stay there.
So yeah, that's another little addition to the farm, the polytunnel. We're touch wood. It will survive some strong winds because we've done quite a good job of putting it in, and we've banked the soil up on the sides rather so it doesn't push the sides in, but it keeps the material in the ground. It's just a case of if the wind does pick up, Tina's got to run out there and just close the doors up so the wind doesn't go in and catch it and boik it off. So that was a bit of a... Actually went together quite easily this time. The last one we did, it was a bit of a struggle. The holes wouldn't line up properly or anything, but this one it's done. It's in the ground, the cover's on, all the soil's banked back up. I can get in and out of it quite easily. So that's it. Tina's been just had a wander around all the other garden, show you what's growing. So the potatoes we've had a bit of a disappointment with, but we can still harvest them because it's not actually affected the tubers at the moment. It's not got down to them yet. So they suggest cut the tops off, leave the potatoes in the ground for a couple of weeks. That will just harden the skins up a little bit, so they'll store a little bit better. If we just oiked them all out now, they'd just be like new potatoes, and the skins are quite soft. They don't rub off, but they'll just store a little bit easier if the skins have hardened up. And we've got to say, I'll just show you this half a bucket we've got just from the plants we've pulled up the other day. It's a potato! Potato. Some say potato, some say potato. New potatoes. Oh, it's dribbling down my arm. And because we're not eating that many potatoes, due to my diet, we're going to take a while to get through them. So we need to freeze them, can them, and store them basically. But we will try again with potatoes.
See if anyone's got any ideas of pressure canners.
Yeah, that's another. Also, we're looking at pressure canning. So if any of you lot out there have had any experience with pressure canning, Tina's been looking and she wants the actual machine, which is it's like a pressure cooker, but they're a bit bigger, aren't they?
Yeah, I want gas hob.
And she wants one for the gas hob, not electric or anything like that. So if any of you have got any ideas, just drop us a little thing in the old comment section below, and yeah, we can get pressure canning. Also, what has arrived, I'll just show you outside here. We already had those beams. We was going to use those beams in the floor in that room, but we're going to concrete that floor now. So we're going to use those beams for a new ramp. We was waiting for some wall brackets. They've arrived. We're going to crack on with that the next decent day we get. Obviously, as I said, Tina's going shopping after lunch, and it is looking pretty stormy out there. We had a little bit of a storm yesterday, but it's forecast for pretty rough weather this afternoon. So the next decent day we get, we've got to get out there, just dig some holes at the end, because I don't want to cut the beams off at the end. I want to keep them all as one, and they can just go down into the ground. Now, you know, you don't want to be let wood contact dirt, because over time it will rot. So we're going to dig some holes out. We've got some weed matting membrane stuff. We'll put that in the bottom, put some gravel in the bottom, and then we can just bed the beams down on the gravel, get them all level across the thing, and then screw our decking boards on across here. So that'll be another video which I'll put on this channel, because it's not mechanicking. Over on Ben's Garage, people all like spannering. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for today. We're just waiting for the weather now. But we've got quite a bit done in the last few days, what with the Polytunnel and potting on and stuff like that. All that material's turned up. That was a result, because they gave us a DevE for it, which, you know, it's an estimate. Printed it off when Tina went up there, and came to pay the driver, and it was cheaper than the DevE. So 2 thumbs up. Yeah, we'll use them again. So I think that's about it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. That'll help. So it's going to hopefully push this channel up a little bit. We've got not many subscribers, but there's about 78 of you. So yeah, if you haven't already, please subscribe. And from me and the Hobbit over here, it's bye for now.